Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am going to be talking about a topic that I feel like a lot of you might be interested in. I already covered this a couple of months ago, but I decided to do an updated video on this topic, as well as just share additional things that I have learned over the last couple of months. So what am I going to be talking about, right? I'm going to be sharing with you how to find a job abroad. So how to find jobs with relocation abroad. Abroad here meaning specifically Europe, because that's where I have experience with. So I'm very happy to be sharing with you. In case you are new to this channel and you missed out on the last video that I made about relocation and finding job abroad, I'm going to link it somewhere here so you can check that video out. I'm sure you'd also get something from that. In today's video, I want to go into more depth and share how to find a job abroad. So from finding job applications, to applying to them, to doing the interviews, and finally to relocating. So a couple of the things that I'll share is out of my personal experience, but also I did a couple of research to see how other people were able to land their jobs. So I'm going to be sharing that as well. I hope you find this video helpful. Before we move on, I would like to mention that you should definitely consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel if you enjoy this content. So I'm going to break this video into 3 parts. The first part is how to find the job. So where should you be looking at and which website should you be checking out? And then I'm going to share with you some tips on applying and interviewing. And finally, I'm going to share with you a typical experience for somebody that is planning to move over to Europe or abroad. So let's start from the first one. How do you apply to, or how do you even find these jobs, right? How do you find jobs that allow you move abroad? A lot of my followers or a lot of my subscribers are from Africa, and that is because I originally started this channel when I was in Nigeria. So that makes sense that a lot of my audience are in Nigeria and are developers. And I am very, very sure that a lot of you watching are also interested in moving abroad. Now, there is quite a number of things that you should have in mind when doing this or when applying for jobs, because it varies from country to country. And in this video, I'm going to try to explain from the perspective of somebody that is trying to relocate to Europe. And that's because I've had job interviews and I've also been in a position where I had to move over to Europe. Currently, I'm residing in the Netherlands, so a lot of what I'll be sharing is going to be in this area. So if you're thinking about moving to Canada, some of them might also apply to you, but yeah, just take what I share lightly if that's your goal. So first of all, there are a couple of things I'd like to point out. Even though I am targeting the developer audience, I would like to let you know that even as a designer, or as long as you have a career in tech, right, your skills are employable in the entire world. Like literally, you could find a job in the US, you can find a remote job anywhere in the world. But again, if you're not in tech and you still want to, find a job abroad, then I would also say you should definitely look into some, not all, some of these things that I'm sharing, because yeah, they are specifically for tech folks. So let's start with the first thing. I keep saying let's start with the first thing. Anyway, I want to share with you some sites or some resources that would help you in finding a job abroad. The first one I would like to share, which I already shared in the last video that I mentioned, is Stack Overflow jobs. As developers, if you are not familiar with Stack Overflow, then I'm asking you, what have you been doing? Because Stack Overflow is like this very popular platform for developers where we go to ask questions, we get answers to our questions, and we also copy code and paste in our projects, and it works. Anyway, Stack Overflow also has a platform for jobs, and they are literally posting jobs every day, because I remember when I was actively looking for a job, I would go to Stack Overflow and I would see new jobs pop up every single day. Now, the great thing with Stack Overflow is that you have filters. So basically filters there meaning that you can search specifically for what you want. So you can put in a compensation level, you can put in your level, front end, back end, senior, junior. You can also put in if you want like the perks. So if you want a relocated a relocation job or a remote job, things like that are good for searching. So once you have all those filters on and then you search for jobs that are related to your skills and what you're looking for. So say you're trying to find a senior front-end developer job in Germany or anywhere in the Netherlands or anywhere in Europe really, then you can put this in one of the filters and then you see job opportunities that are aligned to your search, which is great, right? Now, apart from Stack Overflow job, let me also mention this, that a lot of times when I applied through Stack Overflow, I would say I only got like a 30% response. I don't know if this is also the same experience for other people, but 30% response means that maybe I applied for 100 jobs and only 30 of them replied to me. Actually, not 30. 30 is too much. Maybe only 5 people replied to over 100 applications that I made. Now I'm over exaggerating the number, but I'm trying to just share that you should not expect that every single application that you send in is going to get a response back, because thousands and thousands and thousands of people are also applying to these jobs. But what I have to share with you today is not just one platform, right? I'm going to be sharing with you over 6 platforms, so you have a wide range of places to look for jobs and apply to, and then you know that potentially you're going to always get a response eventually. Now, the second platform that I also like to share is called LinkedIn Jobs, and this platform was where I found my current job posting. So this is very good as well. It also has the location-based, filter search that I mentioned that Stack Overflow has. Now, the great thing with this is you're already on LinkedIn, right? It's quite easy for the recruiter to just check out your profile if they want to hire you or if they want to interview you. So what I do is I go on LinkedIn, I put in the role that I'm looking for, I also put in the location, and then I see, a lot of jobs pop up for front-end developer in Amsterdam, and I start applying. The only thing I don't like about LinkedIn Jobs is the quick apply. I think that's what it's called, quick apply, where you just click a button and then it automatically sends them your LinkedIn profile. Now, this is not good for the candidate that is applying, because imagine 500 people clicks that button and then the recruiter has to go through every single person's profile. Or rather, they ask specific questions and then they ask me to submit my resume and also my cover letter through that, or they redirect me to their website where I can actually find that information. So that's the only experience I don't like from LinkedIn Jobs, but still, it's also a great platform for finding jobs abroad. Another platform that I want to share is called Relocate.me. This platform is specifically targeting the European countries and European job market, but I definitely would recommend that you check it out. It's something that just popped up in my radar. I have not used it before, and so I don't know how to rate it based on experience, but I feel like it's a very helpful resource. Something that I really like about it is the fact that they have jobs specific for different roles: front-end developer, PHP developer, backend, React, Vue, and so on, which you can basically see once you land on the first page. Apart from that, they also have a job listing based on the countries. So if you're looking for a job in Germany specifically, you can find jobs in Germany, you can find jobs in Belgium, you can find jobs in Sweden. So this is a very nice experience. So when you go to the specific countries page, you see jobs that are available in that country. Apart from that, I think something that I like that I found out is that they have a salary calculator, so you can actually calculate your pay and see eventually, when you're already in the interview process, what you want to negotiate as your base salary. So that is very nice. Now, I am sharing all of these platforms because definitely I would love for you all to check them out and find jobs abroad. This other one is called honeypot.io. I think they make some of the best series about developers on YouTube. They also are a relocation-based recruitment company, so they find talents abroad. I remember applying to this earlier in my career when I wasn't even ready to find a job abroad. And that was like 2018. I applied they have a very rigorous process. So you have to apply, and then they will see if you actually fit before you can then start applying for jobs, or before they start pairing you to jobs that are available. So I remember applying and I was rejected because they felt like I did not have enough experience. So I think based on what I've experienced from this platform, you have to actually have minimum of 3 years experience, I would say, for you to, be able to get something on this platform. So honeypot.io is also great. You should definitely check it out. I know that you have to first of all apply to be on the platform, and then after that I think they get in touch with you with probably a coding test. I'm not so sure because I haven't gotten to that part of the process, but I know that you have to be a certified member of the platform, and then they start pairing you to jobs that you can then interview. But it's very legit. Definitely you should look into it and see if it's the right fit for you. So another one that I found is called relocationjobs.net. This one just popped up as well when I was doing my research. I have not used it before, but they have a lot of job listings that I know that are potentially great for you as developers or designers, or even HR managers, because I saw one that had HR manager as a role. So this one is another great platform you can check. Another one I would like to share is called, this one is very, very popular, but I don't think a lot of people know that you can actually find jobs on it. I only use it when I'm trying to find information about a company or just check reviews on a company. But this one is called Glassdoor. So Glassdoor can also be used as a job application platform or job search platform. When you go on Glassdoor, you can specifically search for depending on your location, or search for depending on your role. So you should definitely try this. Now I think Glassdoor is more of like a worldwide platform for job finders, because it's not specifically for Europe or for a specific location. So you can find jobs in any country in the world on this platform. Another one I would like to share is called Mulberries, and I tried using this when I was looking for a job. Unfortunately, I did not get a potential interview from this platform, but I think if you try it, you might. It's called mulberries.com. Mulberries is another platform, and it's quite similar to Honeypot, or similar to the Relocate Me one that I shared. So same process, you go on this platform, you sign up for an account, and then you start finding jobs that are related to your competencies and your skills, and then you apply for them. Potentially you get a response back that they want to start speaking to you. The company wants to speak to you or want to have an interview with you. So I shared already, I think, 6 different platforms that you can start looking at if you want to find a job abroad, and I hope these platforms are very helpful to you. Now let's go into the second part. But before we go into the second part, I also want to share that apart from just looking for jobs on this platform, there are other ways that you can also find jobs. And there are 2 ways that I've tried that are also very good and they work. One of them is through your network, so your personal network and referrals, right? So if you have friends that are already in the countries that you want to relocate to, or you already have friends working abroad, what I would suggest is you reach out to them and ask if their company is currently hiring. That's another route that you can take, right? If you have somebody already working in a company and your company is potentially hiring with relocation, then that person can quickly or easily refer you, whereby you can then start the application process. So you skipped already the part where you have to find the job because you already went through a referral. So that's another option for you to do. Another thing I would like to share is Twitter. Twitter is a social media or a social networking platform. But apart from that, it is also a platform for networking and for building professional networks, which I potentially have gotten a lot of. I started using Twitter not because I wanted to use it as a networking or professional network. I just wanted to, watch people banter. But I found out that there is a specific niche. So there is a tech industry. Basically, there is a tech Twitter. There is something called tech Twitter. And I found out that tech Twitter exists, and I became part of it. And yeah, I think I've built quite a number of reputation. I don't know if I have, but I think at this point, I know a lot of people that are potentially in good position to help me if I'm looking for a job. All I just need to do is to reach out to them. So if you're in also that position that you actively using Twitter, why not just also use it to, build professional, buddies or professional friends? I don't know. But yeah, Twitter is another good way to reach out to folks that are also working in companies that you potentially love to work for. And you could either follow them, send them an email, or send them a DM asking if their company is currently hiring, or just be their friends first and then tell them probably later, because it will be weird if I get a DM just asking me, is your company hiring? I want them to hire me, but I just want to put it out there that it's also another way that you could go through to find a job. So I mentioned all the platforms. I mentioned referral, reaching out to your friend. I also mentioned networking on Twitter. So those are good ways that you can, look for a job abroad. Now let's go into the second part of this video. I've talked a lot already, but I hope everything that I shared is very helpful. Let's go into the second part. And in this part, I'm going to just share general tips and advice for people that are looking to apply for jobs abroad. And when I say I want to share tips and advice, mind you, I'm not an expert. I am just a developer that is trying to, help other developers. I don't call myself an expert in this area, so I'm just sharing my own advice based on my experience. The first thing I would like to share is you should have a good resume. I made a video once about, how to craft a developer resume, which I would link somewhere here. I think this is the part that plays the potential, or that plays the biggest role in your job applications, because this is the first thing that the recruiter sees and wants to hire you or wants to interview you. Now, how do you know that your developer resume is good enough, or how do you know your developer resume is great? Then you should watch that video that I made. No, I'm just kidding. I think you should know if your developer resume is good if you're correctly highlighting your potential skills. Another thing that I would like to share is that as a developer, I know that, people say you should have a resume, put all your projects in there, do everything, and just submit. But there is also something else I would like to share that is also relevant when you apply to jobs, and this even helps you get your foot in the door faster, is by also adding a cover letter to your application. So just sending out resumes is not enough sometimes, especially when the company is asking you for a cover letter. You should definitely submit one. A cover letter covers, your core skills. Personally, I feel a cover letter is you just telling the recruiter or just telling the company what you're capable of and how you're the best fit for the role. So if you can leverage a cover letter, then additionally with your good resume and a cover letter, those two things together already makes you like a bit, closer to getting an actual interview with this company. So my tip here is make sure you have a good resume, and also make sure that you add a cover letter when you're submitting your job applications. Now, this might be hard or difficult, and exactly why, because in a day, sometimes you might apply to 10 to 20 different roles. Now, imagine writing a cover letter for 10 to 20 different roles. I once read somewhere that if you want to do this, specifically apply to jobs that you are a fit for, and make sure that you're not duplicating, like copy and pasting, a cover letter. Make sure that what the cover letter entails is closely related to what the company wants. So checking out what the company job description is, and just picking up some words from there and adding it to your cover letter is going to actually make it stand out. Another tip I would like to share is preparing for your interviews. It really helps a lot if you do research on the company before you actually have the interview. That way it helps you, have a leverage. So you already know about the company, you already know about the role that you're applying for. So what I do is I use a template, which I'm going to be sharing with you. If you check the description, you'll find this template. In this template, I specifically track all the job applications that I, apply to, with different stages. So I have a stage where I just sent in the application, a stage where I'm doing the first, get to know me interview. I'm also I can basically just track all stages of interviews. Apart from that, I document basically everything I know about that company in here. So I put in their website, I put in what I know, I put in what the job is asking me for, and just every single time that I have an interview, I take notes and I put it there. It's basically building like a document, I would say, for that company. So potentially when you get the job, you can always look back and say, oh, this is what I had to do. These are the steps that I had to take to get this job. So I feel like it's always good for you to document stuff and keep track of what, the company is all about. And that's a very good tip for interviewing, because then you come to a meeting, you come to a get to know me interview already having in mind like what the company's vision is, what the company's mission is. The recruiter will be impressed, right? So I think that's something you can take on as a leverage to you landing your job abroad. Finally, the last tip I want to share is on negotiating. Now, this is a part that I'm not a very good negotiator, but I'm trying to be better. I even bought a book I'm going to start reading this month on how to negotiate better. Now, what I would like to share with you in this area is for you to do your research. Do lots of research. Find out what the base pay is in the specific area. Find out what the pay is, average pay is for the role that you're applying to. Find out from friends, colleagues. I know a lot of people don't like talking about pay and salary. I don't know why people don't do this, but it's going to be helpful for the larger audience of people that are trying to find or negotiate their jobs. People don't just do that, but there are also platforms that share salary ranges. For example, I know LinkedIn has one. I also think I know another one that I cannot remember the name right now, but I'll link it in the description. So use all those platforms, do your research, search online, use Glassdoor. Glassdoor also have this information, just search and make sure that you are not, negotiating below your, average pay, right? And another thing that I've learned is, apart from negotiating pay, you can also negotiate perks. I did not know this before, but you can also negotiate perks. So you can negotiate the number of hours you can work, you can negotiate your health benefits, you can negotiate your other benefits like vacation days. So this is something else that you can also negotiate. So just what I would say is do your research when it comes to time for negotiating. I'm going to put a lot of links that I found on the internet about negotiating in the description, so make sure you check it out. This is the last section, and in this section I want to share with you the final part. So eventually you've gotten the job. Now you have to start preparing to move abroad. The truth is, I don't know for every country out there, I don't know what the process is like, but I can only speak to the Netherlands. And if you want to find out how I was able to, do the process for relocating from Nigeria to the Netherlands, please check out the previous video that I made, because I went really into details in this video. But basically what I would like to share is, a lot of times when you eventually find a job abroad, the company really helps you, settle in and move. So it's not basically you doing all the moving yourself, but the company also helps you. Sometimes the company also has a package, a relocation package that, they specifically give to you to help you move and settle into the country. So this is also something that you can also negotiate, right? I learned this recently. Now, when you find a job abroad and you're making plans to move, depending on the country you're located in, there are different documents and different things that they might request for, depending on your case, because I don't have a specific idea of what different countries will ask for. But all I know is, for most countries, they would ask you for specific things: your passport, a visa. You need to get a visa. You need to, if you're moving there as a permanent resident, you need to have some certain documents. So what I would say is, in this area, you can either ask your company for assistance, which they would likely provide for you, or you can use Google. Google is your best friend. I use Google a lot for a lot of things. Now, this is where Google comes in. By you doing your own personal research, I'm going to share with you a document that I used when I was trying to move abroad to Amsterdam. So there are specific links there that might be helpful to people trying to move to Amsterdam. But if you're not trying to move to Amsterdam, you can still use that document to, collect resources for your specific country. So I'm going to share that in the description. Make sure you check the description for all the links that I mentioned I'm going to be sharing. I hope that you found this video helpful, and I wish you all good luck in your job search. And I hope to hear in the comment section in the next few months of people that, you know, have found their jobs because I shared this resource, and I look forward to hearing that. From my previous video, I already got a couple of responses like that, and it makes me so happy. So thank you all so much for watching. Again, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, also share this video with your friends that are also looking to move abroad, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.